I can't breathe. I tried to say the whole sentence, all the words, and I forgot oxygen. My brain is melting.
Adam, breathe. Inhale, exhale. What are you doing? Put your hands over your head. Look at me. Breathe in.
I was trying to speak like a native English speaker. I watched this terrible video online that said if I just speak incredibly fast and never, ever pause, I'll sound totally natural. So I tried to introduce myself, tell my life story, and order a coffee in one single breath. I literally almost passed out on my kitchen floor.
Oh, Adam, that is the absolute biggest mistake English learners make. Listen to me. You've mastered the grammar, right? You've memorized the words. You have an amazing vocabulary, but you still don't sound native. Do you know why? It's not your brain, because you're breathing wrong.
Wait, my breathing is wrong? I thought my tongue was just lazy. I thought I just needed more English vocabulary for beginners. You mean to tell me my lungs are the problem?
Authentic fluency isn't about your tongue, Adam. It's about your diaphragm. Welcome back to the English Mint podcast. Learn daily, speak fluently. I'm Hannah, your English coach and breathing reminder.
And I'm Adam, the guy who almost fainted trying to speak English. If you want to learn English and actually survive the process without needing a doctor, you are in the exact right place.
Today, we're talking about a biological secret. We call it the shadowing matrix. It is all about how to sync your breathing to match a native speaker's natural rhythm. We are going to teach you how to hack the rhythm of human exertion, because speaking is physical.
Yes, stop wasting years on flashcards. Stop staring at textbooks. If you aren't syncing your diaphragm to a native speaker's exact breathing rhythm, you're already falling behind. But don't worry, we are going to make this so easy. This is the ultimate English podcast for everyone from A1 English all the way up to B2 level English.
Exactly. But before we reveal the deep biological secrets of the shadowing matrix, if you are enjoying this and if you want Adam to survive this episode, please click subscribe. Seriously, do it right now or Adam will cry. And trust me, it is ugly when he cries.
It's true. I cry very easily. I am a deeply sensitive man with terrible lung capacity. Just hit the like button, please. Save my tears. Share this with another English learner who forgets to breathe.
Okay, dry your eyes, Adam. Let's move to phase two. So, Adam, let me ask you a slightly embarrassing question. Have you ever tried to have an easy English conversation, maybe just talking about your daily routine in English, and you just start speaking faster and faster until pure panic takes over?
Oh, all the time. Literally yesterday. Let me paint the picture for you. I was at the local coffee shop. I wanted to use some basic English practice, just ordering a simple vanilla latte, but I got so incredibly nervous about my accent. I looked at the barista, she looked at me, and my brain screamed, "Adam, if you say it really fast, they won't hear your mistakes."
Oh no, I know where this is going. What exactly happened? Tell everyone. Don't hide the embarrassment.
I walked up to the counter and I said, "Hi, can I get a large vanilla latte with oat milk and 2 sugars? And can you tell me where the bathroom is? Thank you so much. Bye." All on one single breath. My face turned bright purple, like an eggplant. The barista looked at me like I was an alien from Mars. She literally took a step back.
You forgot to use oxygen. You see, listeners, most learners fail because they focus on translation, while natives focus on oxygen. You're translating in your head, trying to remember your vocabulary, worrying about grammar, and physically, your body goes into fight or flight mode. You hold your breath.
It is so true. I was sweating. So what is the shadowing matrix, Hannah? How do we fix this before I embarrass myself at the coffee shop again tomorrow?
It is a radical method to map your exhales to linguistic stress. Native speakers breathe at very specific, hidden moments in a sentence. Every single sentence has a physical blueprint. When you isolate the precise moments of inhalation, you can mirror a speaker's biological cues. It's not just about the words, it's about the wind pushing the words out.
Wait, so you're saying I don't need to study more grammar right now? I don't need to memorize a dictionary. I just need to breathe out when the native speaker breathes out?
Exactly. It's a biological shortcut. Think about real everyday conversations. When you ask how to talk about yourself in English, the answer isn't just a list of words about your hobbies. It's a rhythm, it's music. You breathe in at the commas, you exhale heavily on the stressed words, you pause, you let your body relax.
Hey, you listening right now. Yes, you in your car or you washing the dishes. Are you laughing at me right now because I turned into a purple eggplant at the coffee shop? I know you are. I can hear you giggling. Okay, stop laughing and try this physical exercise with us. Put your hand on your stomach. Take a deep breath in and exhale. That is step one of actual, authentic, real conversation practice.
Worm, worm, worm. Let's move to phase 3. Let's talk about how this makes people feel. Speaking a new language in public can be absolutely terrifying. Sometimes you get what we call butterflies in your stomach.
Butterflies in your stomach. That is such a crucial idiom for English learners. Let's spell that for everyone taking notes. Butterflies, Butterflys, in your stomach. It means you feel incredibly nervous. Your stomach feels fluttery, light, and weird, like 100 actual bugs are flying around inside it.
Exactly. You get butterflies before a big test, or before a first date, or ordering coffee in English. And another great idiom for this exact feeling is tongue-tied. Tongue hyphen tied. Tongue-tied.
It means you're so nervous or so out of breath that you physically cannot speak. Your tongue feels like it has a thick knot tied in it. No words will come out, only strange noises.
Have you ever been tongue-tied, Adam? Besides the coffee shop?
Oh, Hannah, last month I saw my favorite actor on the street. I wanted to say I'm a huge fan of your work, but I got so nervous my breathing stopped. I walked up to him, I had butterflies in my stomach, I opened my mouth, and I just squeaked like a mouse. Squeak! I was completely tongue-tied.
You squeaked at a celebrity? Oh, Adam. But hey, to everyone listening, this is why we share these stories. You're doing amazing. Even if you mess up, even if you squeak at strangers, who cares? We mess up all the time. I'm literally a professional English podcaster, and I get tongue-tied. You've got this. We're in this together.
Yes, the window for perfect accent acquisition isn't closed for you. You are never too old. If you want to know how to train your brain to speak in English, you just have to relax your physical body first. Tension is the enemy of fluency.
Okay, Adam, it is time to put this to the test. I want to try this shadowing matrix in a real scenario. Let's do a massive role play. Phase 4. Let's pretend we're doing Learn English at the restaurant, but let's make it difficult. A fancy restaurant.
Oh, this is going to be a complete disaster. I'm already sweating. Okay, you will be the intimidating fancy waiter. I will be the nervous customer on a date. Let's practice syncing our breath. Listeners, pay attention. Remember, breathe on the pauses. Exhale on the important words.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Le Chateau d'Or. I am your head waiter, Pierre. May I present the evening tasting menu, or are you ready to order à la carte?
Yes, Pierre, I would like the expensive steak, please, and the soup, and can you bring extra bread because I am very hungry, and water with ice, please?
Adam, stop. Cut. You didn't breathe. You took one giant, desperate breath and panicked. You sounded like a vacuum cleaner.
I'm sorry, I got nervous. Pierre is very intimidating. The restaurant is too fancy. I felt the butterflies in my stomach, and my diaphragm just locked up. This is exactly what happens in real-life conversation.
Okay, take a breather. Let's try again. Use the shadowing matrix. I want you to find the hidden pattern of exhales. Think about the stress. I would like the steak. You push the air out on like and steak.
Okay, I am ready. My diaphragm is relaxed. Let's go, Pierre.
Sir, whenever you are ready, what may I bring you this evening?
Yes, Pierre. I would like the steak, please. And for the starter, I will have the soup.
Fantastic! Yes, perfect. You sounded completely natural. Listeners, did you hear the difference? Let's break that down for our English learners. In the first try, Adam sounded robotic, panicked, and stressed. In the second try, he sounded confident, smooth, and like a native speaker.
I feel like a genius. I am hacking the rhythm of human exertion. Listeners, if you want to stop using basic English at work, if you want to sound like a boss in meetings, you have to master this pacing. Do not rush.
Exactly. Slowing down makes you sound more fluent, not less. Okay, let's move on to phase 5, core vocabulary and phrasal verbs, because you still need words to ride on that breath. We have 5 incredibly important words and phrases for you today to build your English and daily life.
Word number 1, diaphragm.
Diaphragm. This spelling is crazy, so write this down. D-I-A-P-H-R-A-G-M. It has a silent G. Do not say diaphragm. It is diaphragm. Diaphragm.
Your diaphragm is the large dome-shaped muscle located directly under your lungs that helps you breathe. When you speak English perfectly, you are using your diaphragm to push the air up and out of your mouth.
A common mistake is people try to speak from the top of their throat. When you are nervous, your chest gets tight and you speak from your neck. Adam used to do this when he tried to flirt and he sounded like a squeaky little mouse.
Hey, it's true, but you don't have to expose my dating life to the whole internet. But yes, throat speaking sounds weak, diaphragm speaking sounds confident. Okay, let's do an example sentence. Listen closely. You need to breathe from your diaphragm to sound natural.
You need to breathe from your diaphragm to sound natural.
Your turn. Wherever you are, say it out loud. Don't just whisper it. Wake up your neighbors. You need to breathe from your diaphragm to sound natural.
Excellent. Good job. Word number 2, exhale. E-X-H-A-L-E. Exhale.
Exhale simply means to breathe out. You inhale oxygen in and you exhale carbon dioxide out. But in English practice, you exhale to create stress on a syllable. The exhale is the engine of the English language.
Exactly. Spanish is a syllable-timed language. English is a stress-timed language. That means the exhale is everything. Here's an example sentence. Make sure you exhale on the most important word in the sentence.
Make sure you exhale on the most important word in the sentence.
Come on, listeners, say it with us. Loudly. Use your diaphragm. Make sure you exhale on the most important word in the sentence.
Great job! I can hear you. Okay, word number 3 is a brilliant phrasal verb. If you want to learn 50 daily phrasal verbs, you absolutely must start with this one. Catch your breath.
Catch, C-A-T-C-H. Your, Y-O-U-R, breath, B-R-E-A-T-H. Catch your breath.
It means to return to normal breathing after doing something physically difficult, like running a marathon, climbing stairs, or in my case, speaking English too fast at the coffee shop.
It's a great phrase to use when you need a pause. Example sentence. Please pause for a second. I need to catch my breath.
Please pause for a second. I need to catch my breath.
Your turn. Pretend you just ran up a hill. Please pause for a second. I need to catch my breath.
Amazing! Let's keep going. Word number 4. This is crucial for easy English conversation. Pace yourself.
Pace, P-A-C-E. Yourself, Y-O-U-R-S-E-L-F. Pace yourself.
To pace yourself means to do something at a steady, consistent speed so you do not get tired too quickly. It means don't rush, don't sprint, it's a marathon.
Native speakers pace themselves. They don't rush to the end of the sentence. Example, If you want to speak fluently, you have to pace yourself.
If you want to speak fluently, you have to pace yourself.
Come on, listeners, try it with us. Nice and slow. If you want to speak fluently, you have to pace yourself.
You guys are crushing it. This is the absolute best English listening practice out there. We are rewiring your brains right now. Word number 5, our last vocabulary word, to draw a blank.
Draw a blank. D-R-A-W, a blank. B-L-A-N-K. To draw a blank.
Oh, this happens to me daily. To draw a blank means you suddenly forget something. Your brain goes completely empty, like a blank piece of paper. You forget a word, you forget a name, you forget how to order coffee.
It happens when we panic. Example sentence. I wanted to order the steak, but I was so nervous I completely drew a blank.
I wanted to order the steak, but I was so nervous I completely drew a blank.
Last time for phase 5. Repeat after me. I wanted to order the steak, but I was so nervous I completely drew a blank.
Brilliant. Simply brilliant.
Okay, stop laughing. Adam, wipe that smile off your face. Stop being silly. It is time for phase 6, the shadowing review. Time to get serious for exactly 2 minutes. Sit up straight, listeners. Shoulders back. Open your chest.
Deep, dramatic announcer voice. We are going to rapid-fire repeat the most important sentences from today's lesson. This is the shadowing matrix in action. This is how you think in English. We will give you the rhythm, you will mirror it.
Direct instruction, firm but warm. Listen carefully. Repeat after us. Speak loudly. Do not just listen in your head. Moving your eyes over words does nothing. Move your mouth. Use your diaphragm. Breathe when we breathe.
Sentence 1. Breathe in. I have butterflies in my stomach.
I have butterflies in my stomach.
Sentence 2. Inhale. You need to breathe from your diaphragm.
You need to breathe from your diaphragm.
Sentence 3. Inhale. I was completely tongue-tied.
I was completely tongue-tied.
Sentence 4. Deep breath. Make sure you exhale on the important words.
Make sure you exhale on the important words.
Sentence 5. Inhale. Please pause. I need to catch my breath.
Please pause. I need to catch my breath.
Sentence 6. Inhale. You have to pace yourself to sound natural.
You have to pace yourself to sound natural.
Sentence 7. Inhale. I looked at the waiter and drew a blank.
I looked at the waiter and drew a blank.
Yes, you did it! You have successfully hacked the shadowing matrix. Your biology is now synced with the English language.
Wow, we covered so much today. Take a deep breath, everyone. Let your shoulders drop. We learned that English in daily life isn't just about translating vocabulary. It's about biology. It's about breathing, pacing, and using oxygen to power your pronunciation.
We talked about not panicking. We talked about not holding your breath when you see a native speaker. We learned that making sure you exhale on the stress of the sentence is the true secret to real-life conversation. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be oxygenated.
Now we are at phase 7. It's time for the community question. We love our community and we want to hear from you in the YouTube comments below. This helps us know what to teach next.
Here is a highly specific question for you. Tell us about a time you tried to speak English and completely drew a blank or felt tongue-tied. Where were you? Who were you talking to? Was it a waiter like Pierre? Type your funny, embarrassing stories in the comments right now. We will read them, laugh with you, and maybe help you pronounce the words you forgot in our next episode.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Thank you for joining the English Mint podcast. We believe in you. Remember, every single day you make a little progress. Do not give up. Keep smiling.
And keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Don't pass out at the coffee shop like me. Pace yourselves. See you next time, everybody. Bye.